My dog's being awful right now. Give me a moment. Excuse me,
Amy,
madam.
I love her so much.
Good evening,
Oh no,
everyone.
let me make you
Chipper's
cry
dog
again.
is being awful right now, and we're fucking live.
Oh boy.
So, last time we played, Cirrus entered Twink Be Not Afraid mode, biblically accurate Twink mode. And you guys did a little bit of housekeeping here in the Southern Court, gathering new Fae to the cause and essentially telling everyone to get their shit together because it's not the fucking Ashland anymore. It's the shirt bimbo uniform land. And you
We're gonna have to
have
come up with a proper name.
there's a proper name. You have your advisors who are now kind of going through and corralling everyone, herding the sheep as it was. And they began to become aware of potential visitors who were poking and prodding at the barriers around the Southern Court, attempting to see what the hell this weird disturbance in the courts was, as one archfey died and was supplanted by another. By an outsider, no less. And as you all prepared to venture briefly out into the Court of Whims to see just what the fuck was going on, passing through the fog was another individual. One of humanoid frame, looking probably mid-30s or so, black hair, and was identified by Vrak as the first Inquisitor of the Soleil's Empire, Adager Malrong, the progenitor of the very order that Claw now counts himself as a member of. It seemed to simply walk into the court unimpeded, traversing the Ashland, if only a few steps, as you guys now caught up, see this individual just striding on through. What would you like to do?
Uh,
Well, go ahead.
okay. I was gonna say, Claw kind of looks like for a second it's like a deer in headlights, like, because this is a dude he basically read about in books.
Yeah, this is like if
He's-
George Washington showed up randomly.
Who's that?
He's
First
Like a-
president.
Oh, sounds good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Emir would be shocked not because of the person, but more so Vrek and I had been watching the barrier for quite a while, and it was very clear that like no one gets in without some form of contact with the Southern Court. So seeing someone just waltz in like alarm bells.
well, Wick clocks the monster hand pretty much immediately because you guys may remember he has a big old monster hand
Yeah.
claw thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Wick will lean somewhat close to Cirrus and say, "Lord Oberon, I do remind you saying that you could detect if a quarry entered your realm.
Did you call Cirrus Oberon?
He's in there. They're in there.
I don't think we know that though.
Yeah, the
Yeah, we do.
arrangement was made in front of us.
It was not.
He got struck by a giant fucking bolt of holy lightning through the chest, directly
Oh,
in
yeah,
front
yeah,
of us.
yeah.
But when I tried to do that with Persephone, everyone was like, "No, we don't know that."
Yeah, you know he's
Well,
in
we didn't know about
Cirrus.
that. Yeah,
Um,
he's got his feet up watching TV in Cirrus's head. That's what Wick is picturing.
Claw kind of like it snaps out of it a bit, and he's gonna approach the man. Hail, and he's just gonna kind of wave a hand, but he's cautious, but trying to like at least get his attention so he doesn't just like sneak up on the dude.
Absolutely. You stride forth and kind of wave your hand, and he turns, and you see kind of The eyes are a little kind of glazed over, almost. It looks like he's looking past you, though his eyes meet with yours for that second, and there is that kind of look of recognition. And he turns fully. What are you doing here? I've secured your passage. You must pursue the Kvedya.
Vedya?
Yes, we were
Would
able
I
to head
know-
them off on the other side of the mountains. You must go.
Would I know what the Kvedya are?
Yes, you would. They were Heraktes' people, the goblins from the House of Crowns on the other side of the mountain.
Oh!
Yeah,
Awkward.
He's off in dreamland.
Oh. Paul's gonna be like, So, looking at him, can I maybe tell that he's definitely like under like some kind of charm or trance of some kind that we could maybe try to snap him out of it?
Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Okay, Arcana. Does this have?
Okay, sorry.
I was gonna say, my
It
ability to recall.
It would technically be related to Fae because it would be a Fae charm.
Yeah, information about Fae fiends are undead, so advantage. Yay!
I was going to
I'll
ask if
take
I
it.
could make a follow-up insight check just to see if he's, around.
I think
Damn.
right.
Okay.
23.
23. He does not seem to be under any sort of charm. There's definitely something. He doesn't seem to be all there. There's something about his cognition that seems almost senile.
Oh, he's been lost in here for too long.
Yeah, he's been here for potentially thousands of years. He's probably just lost his mind.
Cloud cut, you can kind of see him like go, oh no.
I will say, I believe you guys were present. Actually, were you present? I think it might have just been Cirrus. Never mind. We'll say it's Cirrus.
Oh. Whispers to Cirrus. Oh no. I'm trying to think what I need to say to this old man.
We had the dream sequence on the moon, so we know enough about that conflict to give him something.
Ooh.
Shoot.
You kind of clock his intentions. He seems to be acting genuinely towards Claw. He seems to believe what he's saying.
He does look to be that.
The battle's been long over, sir.
No, we can't have afforded to let them get away.
But they're gone. That is for sure. Taken care of. You kind of see that there's a little bit of like not taken care of, and he doesn't like exactly like that he's saying taken care of, but just kind of the after what he saw on the moon.
Was Vandigan able to head them off in the mountains? Or did the butchers catch them in the foothills?
The butchers got them.
Good, good. I will report back to Isildur at once. Vandigan will be glad to know that our enemy is undone.
Sir, have you seen anyone else recently?
Well, of course, I've seen a great many Fae traversing this place. But their tricks do not work on me.
Good to know.
Serious, my archfey, what do we do about this? Serious?
Sir, where exactly are you heading?
Well, if I know that we've succeeded in routing the Kvelia, I shall return to Isildur and resume my post.
Right. He looks at Claw, cause like, I mean, this is your guy.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think. Oh God, I wasn't expecting this at all. Okay. Fuck. um. Sir, do you know how long you've been in here?
But days, and they've cost much.
Yeah, days. He cost like chewing on his lip a little bit. He's like, "Oh God, what do I say?"
Every hour our enemies are able to roam free is an affront to all that Brandigan and his brood fought for.
Knowing about Faye and time, given that I was outside the grove for a good 10 seconds and then 60 years had passed, can I do some kind of medicine check to see if he is, like, ailing from anything regarding that?
Absolutely.
Medicine?
Yeah.
I have a herbalism kit that might give me advantage on it, but I'm gonna do a normal roll. Alright then.
Alright, hot rolls tonight. Actually, not that hot. You got a plus 10, so either way. He doesn't seem to be ailing from anything. In fact, if anything, monster hand aside, he looks to be the portrait of health.
And foggy eyes.
Yeah.
Giving him the once over. Do you feel at all bad, sir?
I should think I'm right as rain. This Feyland plays tricks at the edges of my mind, but I've imbibed of the bloody sacrament. It shall affect me not.
The bloody sacrament?
My whole deal.
I see. Guys, what the fuck?
Sir Malrong, I'm curious, have you seen anybody like me in the troop? I'm trying to think of words, it's hard.
You're good. I've seen a great many kind of people in this place.
I mean, I'm one of the other Inquisitors.
Yes, I can smell the blood, which is what drew me here.
Well met. Am I able to use divine good and evil or something like that to tell if he is a good or evil person? This is me, Sir Vrakram.
Yeah, Vrad can use divine. Vrad can use divine sense. He pings his Fae.
He pings his Fae.
Wait,
Inquisiting.
he pings it as Faye?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Been in
I
here
convey
too
this.
long.
I convey this to the group.
Ooh. You know that picture of like someone with the two hands pressed up against their face, like concern? That's It's Claw right now.
Apparently, your Vrak
Oh,
voice
what, the
scared
fucking-
Sandy.
Like the ESPN guy, yeah.
Hello, and welcome to ESPN. I'm Sir Vrakram. Today, sports. Tomorrow, who knows?
Um. Fa, 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 fa. Before you go, first, maybe we should catch up with what has been going on, just to go over what we know, just to make sure that everything is all settled and known between each other.
I doubt much of consequence could have happened in a few days.
Things.
You said the butchers routed the Kvelia.
Yeah. How long ago was that?
A few hundred years.
About that.
Well,
Claw's gonna have to lay it down. He can't let it down gently anymore.
wait. Wick is like trying to pull Claw aside for a moment.
Okay. Give me a moment. What fucking
Inquisitor.
dude?
He seems quite insensate. First of all, I doubt anything you tell him is likely to stick in this condition, and while I'm not an expert on these matters, I suspect that giving someone in this condition that much information all at once may prove further detrimental.
I know, but what am I supposed to say to this guy? Like, he's clearly not around in the head, but he's also now a fae? Compared... I can't just leave him here either if he wants to get out.
Well, he chose this. He chose to be the bridge between the Imperium and the Feywilds. This was his duty. I know it doesn't sit right with you. It's monstrous, frankly, but this was his choice. You must respect that.
Then what do I say? Just try to go home and forever wander forever, or say that there has been a spot of something else somewhere, and he goes off and tries to look for a thing that hasn't been around for several hundred years?
Tell him that the people of this court are in a sense, allies of the Empire, which is not necessarily a falsehood now. That they will help him in whatever way he should desire, that he may shelter here temporarily and perhaps resupply if he does have any material needs anymore, and yes, then go on his way. Suppose he must wander endlessly now.
Claw kind of like just takes in a deep sigh. Right. I do have
What's
questions.
done is done. We can't help him. Not yet, anyway.
You're right. I just... If we do get back here and he's still around, I will ask him a few questions of maybe something that he could answer from the early days in the Empire. But for now...
If I may,
You're right.
good Inquisitor, what are your intentions at this moment?
Which
Who the
Inquisitor are you asking
Monster
this
Hat
to?
Man.
Sir Marlong?
That one, yes.
I have ascertained that the victory of our cause, I shall return to Isildur at once. I must report to Vandigan. To
Very
let him
good,
know
very
that
good.
to let him know that this has not been for nothing.
Before you go,
Sir Marlong. It might be wise to... We have some allies here in this court. Some that need a bit of assistance. Do you mind if you wish to come stay, at least for the night or two, and rest, because you look a little tired from your long journey. And then after that you can return back home.
Yes, we have someone who is able to produce a very fine facility in which to rest in for just a brief time, should it suit you.
I should need no rest. I'm
Motherfucker.
needed much more so back in Isildur. Worry not, the Fae have given me a charm by which I am able to return to it most expeditiously.
What is this charm you speak of? Is it a lockstone, perhaps?
I know not this word. And he fishes into his jacket pocket and produces this little kind of brass amulet. But to the two of you, Cirrus and Emir, it is immediately recognizable as a lockstone.
It's a lockstone, really. It's just status quo. We know we've been new.
Can we
I see.
tell what it's for? Like, what the lockstone is for? Like,
Give
or
me...
who gave it to him?
Give me Arcana or History.
Okay.
I would offer to assist with that, but I have a -1.
Most unwise.
Okay. With 19, you know right off the bat that is the symbol of the Eastern Court. Straza Sara.
What do we know about the Eastern Court again?
Is that
You
what the
know.
big nasty bug man is?
No, that's the
I-
Northern Court.
Then, yeah.
It's very entwined with your empire stuff.
Wait, is he actually able to leave with that?
Would he be?
Well,
Would he?
Can you
from
do a
just
history
looking at
check
it-
on the Eastern Court?
You could. You can also just check the doc. I mean,
Hey. But what would my little fairy know about that, Matt?
17.
She doesn't read docs.
Let's see. Emir would know that the Eastern Court is supposedly a copy of some city that exists out on the Primaterial Plane. Frozen in time from the perception of its archfey. I would say with your earlier insight check, you are starting to realize that guy crossed through the barrier to another archfey's court unimpeded. This
Oh
is
my god, he's an archfey.
either the archfey of the Eastern Court or some powerful projection thereof.
Given that the Eastern Court is frozen in time somewhat, and this man appears to be somewhat lost in time, so to speak, and that which I just said about he just passed through unimpeded, he may be some sort of archfey connected person, or that itself.
Well, shit.
I'm sorry.
I'm completely out of my depth here.
At times like this, I think, what would Sir Vrakram do? Look to the
'cause-
heavens.
Because
Not
he
today,
pings his
cousin Claude,
fae.
friend, not today.
He pings his fae.
That is true. Well, one thing
Like-
is
pretty
absolutely certain.
Okay.
We cannot allow him to return to Solaeus Isildur. Not in its current state.
But if what you say... He is the original person who bridged Veldalg to the Feywild, what happens if he passes? What happens if he passes?
If he were to exit, and I am speaking entirely theoretically here, as matters of this arcane magnitude are completely out of my ken.
I was gonna say, would Claw know what would happen if that happened? Well, because if he's an archfey, then it doesn't matter.
But
He might be
if
powerful enough to
it's
bridge it,
if this
even
is
he
his
does-
body, right?
or an extension of his body, like how
No, I mean what I'm saying
Here.
specifically, if this is his physical form as an archfey and he leaves the Feywild, that
Oh.
could get pretty fucking messy because
Yeah.
If
The
he were
Archfey.
exposed to the quarry, it could potentially give them an ingress into the port, which would be bad. That's what we're trying to prevent.
I shouldn't have told him that. I shouldn't. Okay. Alright.
Lucky
We need to contain this situation.
Yes, we do.
Perhaps. Well, come here.
Okay.
And he'll lean over to whisper into Claw's
Yeah, we're
Claw's
kind of in a
ear.
group huddle, I think.
Yeah. If
Like, I want to say Brack is probably like keeping an eye on him so he doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, he's like
If
See,
he
well, it's
just
very simple.
small
your
talk.
hand looks, your hand
Yeah.
looks very lolly. It's pretty cool, actually.
Pardon me, sir, one moment. If he... so if the Eastern Kingdom looks like the original, what's the fucking place he came from?
Isildur.
Where he come from? Isildur?
Isildur.
Else, if it looks like Isildur, we could just escort him back. And he wouldn't be none the wiser. I mean, frankly, I think he deserves to understand what has happened to him and the situation he's been placed in as an archfey. But he is not one of my people. I don't really feel like I have a say in how you handle this.
No, that's fair. I don't want to leave him in this stupor, but at the same time, we can't let him just leave the grove and potentially cause a big ol' ass disaster. Yeah, how about we go with him and we lead him back to the Eastern Port, and from there we'll maybe try to explain what's going on. Another potential ally is good, but at the same time we have to tread carefully, because
But given what he's saying, if we escort him back to the Eastern Port, would he not then try to leave via the Lockstone?
but that's the thing. If the Eastern Court looks like Isildur, he'll think he's back in Isildur.
Well, it seems to be the only move we can make here. This is not a risk I'm keen to assume so soon after our rather momentous victory, but there's nothing to it. We have to put a lid on this.
Right. Sir Marlong,
Yes.
do you mind if we come with you back to Isildur?
Of course. As fellow Inquisitor, I should think you would have need of new orders as well.
Quite.
Given
I
that I
do
am a
mind.
Fey... Oh, sorry.
Yo, go ahead.
Given that I am a Fey allied with these Inquisitors, would I be able to come with as well? My court is very friendly with your faction, and mayhap we could share intelligence.
Of course. Let's waste no time, come. And he, holding that brass medallion in hand, begins to re-enter the fog.
Okay, I'm falling right behind him.
Should follow him.
I can't believe this is a fucking, like, Alzheimer's art. Like,
Grandpa
fucking
escort mission.
POV, your grandpa has Alzheimer's and also he has the
Yo.
keys to your house.
This guy just like turned the Eastern Kingdom into like, you know, that one like dementia city or town in like
Florida.
It's like one of the Scandinavian. Oh fuck!
Every town in Florida.
Yeah.
You mean the retirement home?
No, it's a literal city that they made for people with dementia and Alzheimer's in one of the Scandinavian countries. So like they can go
Sounds
walk
like
around and
Finland.
stuff. Sounds like that sounds about right.
It is pretty apt, actually.
Yeah, he just built one for himself.
He somehow became Archfey and built one for himself.
But you guys follow after?
Yeah, I'm right on his tail.
Yeah.
And Sirius, I
Diamond.
presume you are projecting alongside him rather than going your archfey self?
Yeah.
The baby boy.
All right. You all enter the fog, and after a time, it grows incredibly dense before it begins to part again. And to rack and claw, an intimately familiar sight. And Chipper as well, actually. As before you expands, more primitive, but a city of towering metallic spires, with a wide village surrounding this kind of central pillar. It is the exact picture of, naturally, de-aged a few hundred years, but the capital of the Sileys Empire, Sileys Isildur.
I hate being right sometimes.
E.
Yeah, by the way, this city is absolutely massive.
Indeed it
This
is.
is not some itty bitty city. This place is gigantic.
If Bjergton was too big for Emir or Sirius, this is an entire other level.
Isn't it like double or triple the size of
It very much
Okay.
is, even in this point in time. But Adager turns. Come, Vandigan will be waiting for us in the central tower. He'll be glad to hear, and immediately he disintegrates.
No!
So he was not fucking.
Did I just kill him?
No, I believe that was just his. That may have just been his. A projection of himself.
It would seem his purpose was to lead us here.
Cool. Cool. It's great. Love falling for traps. Cool.
It may not be a trap, just a rather obtuse way of asking for a meeting. Either way, look alive.
I can't
Yeah.
recall if I've ever visited the Eastern Court myself, but
But would Cirrus have like?
You would probably know about it, but most Fae don't come here.
Okay.
Probably for good reason.
Mostly, it's the least Fae of the courts. Like, to the point where it's wrong.
are there any flowers here?
Yeah, there are like little garden plots here on the outskirts of the city. You guys are kind of in the middle of like this road that leads right up through the center of it, and there are these little kind of hovels and villas that are posted up that have like little communal garden plots, little bits of farmland. All of the flowers that are growing seem to be made entirely of metal, though. Bits of brass that, at a glance, look natural, look like normal flowers, but the more you examine them, the more you see the faint kind of fractals, the sheen, the scratches.
Right. Since Claw is intimately familiar with the city, even if it's in an older state, the general layout should be the same.
Very much so.
From what he knows. So
The biggest thing that's changed is there aren't as many walls. There are a couple walls that ring the city further in, namely around the Brass Tower, which also at this point is much smaller rather than the massive tower that punches up through the clouds in modernity. It is now maybe 5 stories, 6 stories high.
okay. Well, all right, everybody, stay close. Try not to touch anything, because I don't quite trust everything here, but I know the layout from here. So just stick close and see what's going on exactly.
We should stay in formation. Yes, I agree, Claw.
And Claw will lead the way through the city.
Amir, you can hold Kosantor for me.
No.
Suddenly, actually,
you're enjoying
I'm
this too much.
suddenly actually I'm getting a feeling I should not do that. Peculiar.
But you all proceed, and as you kind of continue in, it's a little disarming. There are people here. You see kobolds, dragonborn of various metallic scale. You see humans, elves, dwarves, the people of the Empire represented, having little conversations in wordless languages that are just series of sounds that even Amir's ability to understand them fails to translate. They have these effectively like Simlish conversations. They exchange goods. They sell each other loaves of bread that are that same kind of metal composite. Soldiers march through the streets, parades of victory that seem just to spontaneously form, with crowds also appearing on the sides of the roads, heralding them further down. And as they exit view, the crowds disappear as well. And this continues in until you...
Small world after all.
Don't you dare fucking start with that.
It's a little bit.
It's more like
Saying that to fucking Floridian is like spitting on my grandma's grave, okay?
Oh, right. I'm sorry, Slaw.
But
Thank you.
Straining
Yeah.
my ears to try and hear what they're saying, but all I can get is just.
Very nice.
But this continues until you reach the first wall. The gate hangs wide open, and you realize, kind of, especially Wick, the technically minded as you are, the actual mechanisms for the gate, the chain that hoists it up, is superficial. It's set dressing. The chain terminates at the ceiling. The gate can't be lowered. The people standing on either side of it, perched atop wyverns, seem to kind of rotate in set motions. And as you approach, they say, "Halt! Who seeks entry into the Brass Tower?"
Well met. We are
Inquisitor
allied with.
Claw.
Yep,
Sorry,
that.
go ahead.
No, as you were.
Inquisitor Claw seeking audience.
Understood, Inquisitor. Vandigan has been waiting.
Fuck.
Can't be.
Very nice.
And also worth noting, much like Adager back in Sirius's court, these people, they're speaking, they do not look at you. They look through you. They're not present.
Don't like that.
But you are allowed through. They make no attempts to stop you. They do not even interrogate your numbers.
Wick, at this point, will turn back to Amir and Cirrus. Well, if this is even remotely what it appears to be, I'll tell you this much. Get ready for a fight.
Those were her knuckles cracking.
I would expect no different.
Yeah, Claw's leading the way in.
Absolutely. You continue to work your way through the inner rings of the city before eventually coming to the Brass Tower, the symbol of the Soleil's Empire. Its doors also stand open, though not in any real mechanism. They were forged open. Inside, you can see many of the same trappings. Soldiers on patrols that seem to shift in and out of existence as they reach the conclusory points. But possibly the most shocking for a few of you, in the center of the room, you see a few individuals speaking. A number of armored dragonborn of various colors, speaking with a man who looks different at this point in time, but is unmistakably Strayed Krantz.
Oh.
Much like the soldiers back out in the streets, their words are unintelligible, non-existent. Flanking him on either side are two more individuals. One, a towering hulk of a man who seems to just blankly stare with a rage that doesn't really translate to the hollowness of his eyes. And on the other, a second man, this one thinner, gaunter, leaning on a staff. But Strayed seems to speak with the soldiers for a moment, and the exchange seems to almost loop. The sounds become familiar, a conversation that they're trapped in for eternity. Presumably, the last thing Adager witnessed before leaving.
What color are this Vandigan scales, Matt?
You do not see Vandigan. These are just various Dragonborn. You presume soldiers.
Oh, okay, all right.
Is there like a door or a place to go that would lead to where Vandigan lies?
Yes, Vandigan would be on the top floor, and there is a kind of spiral staircase that leads up the tower itself.
So, before we go, I would like to listen in and see what words we do pick up from Strayed and his buddies.
Absolutely. You kind of stop to listen in, and you just hear a ceaseless torrent of... Okay.
Nothing we can really pick up.
Remarkably uncanny.
I was hoping for a lead, but that would be too convenient. And Claw will head up the stairs to where Vandigan would be.
Absolutely. You ascend the tower, the spiral stairs with your group at your back. And traversing the stairs, you kind of find yourself ducking out of the way of presumably Imperial scholars, the earliest mages of the Empire's own magics, walking up the stairs only to disappear. Presumably, also records of Adager's memory on his way out. They fade in and out of existence. As you look back, they reappear at the start of whatever loop they are caught in eternally. And you see Dragonborn.
Is Shipper like running after them?
That's a good question.
No, we have so much to talk about.
That's a good question. How is Chipper reacting to this?
Chipper hasn't been paying attention because she's been talking about variable home loans with her parents.
Ah,
Oh, hey, Nikki, we're amarading
Please
here,
give me
but with the Empire.
I've been busy. Yes.
Nikki, we're amarading in the Empire right now.
Oh, we're in the
The capital like 300, 400 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah,
so
it's like a weird little
not
toy
the
village
same-
version of Solis Isildur.
So we went to the moon first, and now we're in Emerald. Matt,
Not quite.
Matthew.
That's
Think of it.
Sorry.
Think of it more as
Sorry.
think of it more as like an uncanny valley memory of
Yeah.
Isildur, as it was when Adager left it to enter the Fae.
Well, in that case, everybody knows what Tripper's reaction would be. It would be
taking notes.
Complete enraptured note taking. You can't talk to her because she's not listening to you because she's looking and observing and writing everything down.
Well, yeah, we literally just walked past like the
past Strain.
ancestors of your job. And Strain, yeah, he's also here.
Wait, so those were the first Onomancers?
Like the first Imperial mages,
Onomancers, the first Chronergists, the first Graviturgists.
Oh, these were the first investigators, right?
Mm-hmm.
If that job even existed at this time.
Okay. I'd say I'd roll a stealth check, but I don't think there's even a point. And I'm also not at my computer, so somebody would have to roll it for me.
It is also it is worth reiterating as well. None of the people in here, when they speak, first of all, they don't even acknowledge you guys existing. When they speak, it is indecipherable, even to a mirror who is supposedly able to understand any spoken language.
That's fine. I don't need to.
The people who are traversing this area also seem to be on loops. They'll reach the end of some walk they were on and disappear, only to reappear moments later back at the start of the loop.
Okay. Can I just follow them just so I can see the loop, just to see,
Yeah.
I don't know, just to see what they're doing. I don't know.
You get the impression, based on everything you've kind of learned about this place, that you are very likely seeing Solis Isildur as Adager saw it before he left for the Feywild.
Okay. Okay.
So, like, the discussions people are having are reinterpretations of the things he's heard and saw. The paths people are taking are the things he saw.
Yeah.
But you continue up and above until you reach the top floor of the tower. It is a large room. The stairs empty out directly into this floor, of which there are very few features. It is an incredibly open space, and you realize why after a fashion. It is very much like the top floor of a lighthouse. There is a roof that is posted up above, but there are no windows in this room. And instead, it is this massive open expanse, and resting kind of on one edge of the room is a massive gold dragon. And posted up at a desk, seeming to scroll through papers and the like, is the spitting image, from what historical records there are, though the direct spitting image to Vrak, who has seen him personally, of Vandigan Solis Isildur, the platinum-scaled dragonborn.
Always fucking dragons.
Against his desk, he has a beautiful golden lance that is leaned up, and he wears this very fine garb with a little kind of burgundy shoulder cape.
Bendigan? You called?
And looks up for a moment. Ah, Adager, you've returned. I trust this means our trek through the Fae will be secured then.
That bodes well.
Can I infer that he thinks I am Vandigan right now? Or I am Adager, I mean?
Presumably. Much like everything else you've seen in here, and Adager himself that you saw, he is staring through you, kind of smoky-eyed.
I guess we're gonna play along if that's okay with everybody else.
Yeah, this appears to be another recollection.
Claw's gonna take a few steps forward, and he's gonna kind of revert back to early Inquisitor days, like arms behind the back, at attention, standing straight up. Even his tail is like goes like stiff as a board. Yes, the way has been secured.
Wonderful. Glad to hear it. We cannot afford to allow the Kvedya to continue to poke at our lands. And Emir, that stealth check is enough. You flutter up quietly and poke at Vandigan. It feels like, even touching it where the skin should be, it feels like you are touching a plate of metal.
Oh.
Are we all just going to ignore the giant golden dragon in the room?
Maybe.
Can I infer on who exactly the golden dragon is?
Give me a history check.
Oh boy. If I
Can
fail
I
at this,
start
have
in
Brack
that
roll it.
Can I give him advantage on that because I'm trained in history?
Yeah?
Okay. Unless you want me to roll it,
18.
which is also fine, but I don't want to take your moment away from you, you know?
Yeah.
18.
18's good enough. It is part of kind of the Imperial founding story that Vandigan raised a gold dragon from an egg, and it was instrumental in starting the slave revolution that would become the Soleil's Empire. This is his steed.
Did his steed had a name or not known?
Adrazil.
Adrazil. Sorry, I'm taking my own notes. It's the easiest way I
Absolutely,
can
yeah.
remember.
Well, if you've secured a way through the grove, I suppose we can begin to send our men through it. Strayed and the other Aglarati have been itching for a chance to prove themselves.
So I've heard on my way up here.
We owe it to them at the very least. They clipped their wings to help us fight the revolution.
What's the general consensus? If we were to not play along and try to prove that there is no war to fight, are we in for a fight ourselves?
I don't think he's responding to anything we say or do. This all appears to be scripted.
Might check that dragon.
Yeah, you float over, same deal. Feels like you're just touching plates of metal.
Can we hear like metal creaking and stuff when the illusions move?
No.
Okay.
Well, if he's stuck in a loop, then does that mean that he frequently just loops into the the
Get
southern
lost in it.
court?
Make an insight check.
Can I assist?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Go for advantage.
That's good because I only have +0 to insight.
You got
Did I
advantage.
get advantage on that?
Mhm.
What does
12.
it do? Oh,
12? You're not sure if it necessarily means he loops into the southern court, but you can't think of a reason why Adager would. You're not certain of what motive he necessarily had. But the most logical thing to you is that Adager was an Inquisitor. You have 2 Inquisitors with you. But you're not sure what the exact link is.
He did say he could sense or smell me? And he came towards us because of that? Because we share the same blood thingy? Blood curse, I guess, would be the best way to put it.
Well, Editor, I'm sure you're quite tired from your journey. Take however long you need to rest.
Yeah. You know me, sir. It's hard for me to settle down when there's work to be done.
Of course.
If I may inquire, though, after we take care of our quarry, what is it that we intend to do after that?
Whatever do you mean? We shall expand the aims of the Empire and bring peace to this land.
Trying to remember my Soleil's history. It's been a hot minute.
What does happen after you defeat the quarry? Granted, it's apocalyptic, but if there's a whole army on the other side, just itching for more,
I
you
shall,
kind of, like, frown and look around. Uncertain.
Do I try to break the cycle right now, guys, or keep going along with it?
We could try and find out if there's like a source to it, and then see if it like is safe to do so.
Well, I was assuming the source was going to be blah 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 blah. Was going to be Vandigan, because we're in the brass tower now, but doesn't seem like he's
Well-
aware of anything too.
Well, can we even tell if he is like the Archfey?
Oh yeah, have Vrak ping.
I will use my divine sense to tell what that thing is that you just said.
He pings his fae.
He pings his fae. My hands are tied.
The dragon in the
Does
room does not ping at all.
The dragon didn't
Okay.
ping at all.
So then this is him and is probably the Archfey.
It is also worth noting, as he kind of steps around to kind of get both of them within range, Vrak also notices the tower itself pings his fae.
Wait. That's not possible.
Oh shit.
Is the entire
We're in-
city the Archfey?
I used my divine sense to see. That man is Fey. The dragon behind him is not. It's nothing really, didn't ping at all, but the tower itself appears to be Fey as well.
So, okay, cool.
The fact remains, someone put on this puppet show, likely the same entity who created that apparition of Sir Malinger for our benefit.
Chipper,
Yes?
can you do an Arcana check, please, on him?
Or
Would you like me to do an Arcana check, or are you asking for detect magic?
Arcana.
Well, what are you trying to learn?
I just want to see if there's like a source to everything.
No source needed.
gonna-
This is an archfey. This is a court. The magic here is much to the whims of whatever archfey presides over it. Just how the Ashkeeper turned the kingdom of Thar into a land of ash, and Sirius has begun to turn it back.
Well,
Do you mind if I play Disruptor at this point, guys?
Go ahead.
I'm ready.
Alright. Prepare yourselves, everybody. Alright. That's enough of this farce.
It is up to you,
Marlon?
Inquisitor.
Marlong, and he's gonna kind of like call out a bit, or whoever Archfey rules this realm, show yourself so that we may discuss and talk with each other face to face, like a normal conversation, rather than hide behind memories and illusions.
Whatever do you mean, Adja?
This is all but a memory. A thing that happened hundreds of years ago. You are not Vantigan. You are something else.
I see. You've given me much to, and Vandigan also disintegrates.
You've given me much to think about.
Spider-Man, no!
I was thinking about the duck, the one, like the duck that goes. "Ah."
You also all begin to feel a faint creaking noise.
Time to go.
And in an instant, the floor opens up beneath you, and you all begin to fall.
It just goes along with it.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we're falling. Okay.
It's more like she
Is-
chases after her boy.
It's worth noting, you guys are falling 6 stories.
Yeah, I'm bamfing out my wings.
Absolutely.
Cirrus will cast Fly.
Hold on,
Can I-
hold on.
Can I catch it?
I need to check what I prepped
You got Featherfall?
today.
I mean,
I
I
do
got.
have Featherfall. The question is not whether I have Featherfall, it's whether I prepped it today. Okay? So give me
I mean-
1 fucking second.
If you don't, I got Fly, so we'll
Yeah.
be fine either way.
I know we'll be fine. I'm just look. I just want to see if my crystal ball actually like manifested this destiny or not.
You know what? Vrak
Yeah.
has Featherfall prep today.
I have
Oh, yeah, he
Featherfall
does.
prep today.
So he will go ahead and cast it to save you some time, Nikki.
But it was my moment, man.
Okay, it's your moment. Did you prep it today?
Alright, fine, do it yourself, fuckface. Thousand apologies, I would never say that in character.
Hold on, my internet is so fucking slow right now.
Oh yeah, you do have it
You're gonna
prepped.
get.
I need to check D&D Beyond if I have it correct.
I opt to catch
I
Chipper
did.
if-
I do have it. I do have it prepped.
Let's go.
My brain is so fucking wrinkly. All right.
All right, so you are casting Featherfall.
Choose up to 5 falling creatures within range. So that's all of
Claws,
us, right?
claws flying, yeah. Claw has some wings too,
Clonimir
so-
flying, so you've got more than enough
Miming.
to catch everybody.
Miming falling.
All right. In that case, I'm going to cast Featherfall on everybody.
Absolutely. You
God, my brain
Strike
is
out.
so wrinkly. Thank God. Thank God I actually like swapped my spell list over from my combat spell list to my we're doing travel adventure shit. You know, spell list.
So you strike out, you cast Featherfall, and kind of catch yourselves in a more gradual fall. But you also, as you are slowly descending now, you see the roof beginning to come down as the tower is also shrinking in on itself. And there is a single voice that echoes wordlessly through the entire room that is rapidly getting smaller as the tower condenses. A single voice that asks, "Who are you?" And that's where we're going to go to break.
Why is okay? So I realized that there's now a soundboard.
Yes.
And on that nightmare revelation, we're back. I kept us muted for it to spare our viewers.
Yay!
But as we pick back up, the roof is falling on you guys. You are rapidly descending as a single voice has echoed in your mind asking who you are. You're falling slower, but the roof is getting closer.
I am Inquisitor Claw of the Empire.
Don't give your
And
names. Scree.
Chill out. I'm trying to get him to recognize me. Chill out. I'm not giving him. I'm just announcing who I am. And I came to talk with you.
Right.
If you
Let's try a different tactic. This Wick gestures while following Cirrus is the Pale Sun, the recently anointed sovereign of the Southern Court.
At least get my name right.
But is that not it?
The Pale Star.
Pale Star, I'm sorry. God damn it.
You
can't-
fucked
yeah,
it
but
up.
Call me a
yeah,
bozo.
no
Now you get my
problem.
name wrong.
The other thing I would like to do is, can I like air swim, like breaststroke, over to Claw?
Yeah.
And can I touch him? And I'm going to burn my 6th level spell slot today and grant him
Oh.
true seeing.
True seeing.
Damn.
Oh no. This is gonna be bad in the fake realm. Oh no. I'm gonna be tripping
Okay.
balls.
Double check something real quick.
I was about to be like fucking Professor X.
I see everything. Ah!
I prepped
Okay.
this today knowing we were going to be traveling through the Feywild. So,
Claw. You cease to see a tower of brass closing in on you and instead see the long extended fingers of some misshapen creature.
Oh. Claw's gonna like squint. Is the claw like getting closer to us? Or is it just there?
It is closing in. It seems to be dragging you down to the earth slowly.
Enough of this, release us.
Does this
I
count
see
as
you.
frightened?
Not the frightened condition, but if you're scared, you're scared.
No, I just wanted to try and.
I see you, Faye. See your hand. Let us go.
Inevitably, you touch down on the ground, and the hand comes down and actually sinks into the earth around you. The rest of you see the tower of brass shift, contort, and constrain until there's a dome around you. You are outsiders, the most of you. Present with another archfey newly born. Why have you come to Strazasara?
Why did you send a messenger out to us?
His soul wanders free. It is not mine to constrain.
Why do you keep him trapped here?
He made the deal. Have you come to free him?
Came to see what his deal was.
He is ours.
What kind of deal did you make with him?
I would allow his people to traverse the grove unharmed,
Traverse
provided the grove, provided he birthed me a court.
So you constructed this place from his memories.
I constructed what he wanted to see of his memories.
How generous of you.
It is a mutually beneficial deal. And we have for so long had peace.
Can I fully see them, or is it just their hand right now still?
Just the hand.
Okay.
And the fingers actually seem to like disappear back under the soil.
What do we see
Oh.
again? Not close.
Like a twisted dome of brass.
Okay.
I don't doubt that your arrangement has been fruitful, but the situation on the outside has changed. There is an interloper.
An interloper? Other than you?
This one's
Right.
far worse.
I don't expect you to take our word for it, but we have license to be in this realm on the authority of the Oberyn.
Could we not at least discuss this over tea instead of this? Just congested to the brass.
Don't mean to cause harm to you or your court, if that is what you are worried about.
Very well then. And the fingers part ever so slightly. To the rest of you, it seems a seal opens in the brass. A doorway made very suddenly.
I'm
If you
checking
mean-
for fey trickery. Shoot.
None detected. If you mean Straza Sara no harm, then you are free to leave.
Was that if you mean Straza Sara no harm?
You are free to leave.
What's our call?
Well, if we can get any court on our side, then we would be all the more better for it.
Yes. Our purpose here is chiefly to warn the people of the Fae of this threat from the outside, and should it please them, to petition for aid. While these circumstances aren't ideal, we're certainly in a position to do that at least. And if you do not like our terms, then we shall be on our way.
What say you, O Archfey of the Eastern Court?
What threat could possibly hamper Straza Sara?
The quarry and Entropus.
Two
A
threats that
moon.
have...
Sorry.
as you are.
A group, a moon, approaches our world, which is connected to yours. They will come.
Being of tremendous necromantic power masquerading as a celestial body.
It has killed many worlds before its approach here. It will not stop so easily. Come
Well,
to gather forces to deal with it.
it will find no purchase here.
Yes, that's what they all say.
There is not alive to be subject to necromancy.
Yes, and so said the Oberon, but in their wisdom, once we had demonstrated the threat that it does in fact pose, they assented. You see, Atropos is not merely a mindless force, it has seductive powers. It promises things to people.
What could
can
it
persuade
possibly promise to the city?
You not heard of Mechanus?
No, we have not.
It was a realm very much like this one. Made of hard
Plain
metal.
removed from mortal concerns. Yet it fell all the same.
And, pardon, well, for one, pardon my intrusion upon your, kingdom. I am not looking for, well, to make enemies of any of, my peers. But you said that there was no one alive here for, necromancy to be had, but what about the, what the fuck is that thing called again? The other guy. The other guy who's like a problem. This is not the necromancy dude. But like the guy is like, I'm gonna take over you or whatever.
The Hive?
The quarry?
The quarry. But what about the quarry? It's clear that, the person whose soul is bound to this land often wanders out. What happens if the quarry enters the Feywilds and happens to come in contact with him?
Warrior beings that take over the minds of those who are weak have been weakened. And then from there, take over whatever they can.
Then I have yet less cause to worry. The shadow of a fractured soul has no mind to conquer.
No.
And yet he does dream, for he could not exist in this land otherwise. Quarry have domain over dreams.
He dreamed this city as you see it into existence when he made his pact. And that is a dream he took with him.
It's still not entirely the dream that he was promised, though. Was it not?
He was not
Or,
promised a
pardon me.
dream.
You're right, he wasn't. You promised him to be a... You did not promise him to take him back to his city or to allow the
His people
mortals
to pass
from...
through.
Yes, his people to pass through. You gave him what you wanted within the conditions of the contract. But it's not entirely what he was probably thinking of when you made it.
It
Right?
was. His people marched through here, ungrateful to the sacrifice of their better, and he left to whatever fate awaited him in the mortal realm. Leaving
left.
behind this half of his soul, this memory eternally frozen.
He left the grove, one half of them.
Yes. I did not want his body.
Where did his body go?
I do not care for the quandaries of mortals. I would imagine he went home to tell his betters that he had successfully sacrificed.
But that's the thing. He never came home.
That's not my concern, is it?
True enough, but it still raises a few questions of mine. However, when the mortals pass through, I had a question and it left my brain. Dang it. Mortals down in the bottom of the tower. Were they among those who crossed?
The angels with clipped wings? Yes.
Okay. Good to know. Brain, why aren't you working?
Would there be anything that Amy would know from just my court about the Archfey from this court? Any way to like appease them or something?
Not really. Most Fae stay the hell away from this court because it is, even for the standards of the widely varied Fae courts, this one's wrong, like unnatural.
Honestly, at a loss.
So, this kingdom is able to maintain itself with what you've said is just half a soul, correct?
Indeed.
So half a soul is powerful enough to maintain a dream. Who's to say that the quarry can't corrupt that dream? Would you be willing to put the entirety of this kingdom, the existence of this kingdom, on odds like that? No matter how small it is, it's still a risk to you and your kingdom.
And what would you have of us, freshborn Archfey of the South?
Cirrus looks to Claw. What do we want right now?
We want assistance in any matter dealing with the quarry.
And Atropos.
And Atropos. Yes, thank you. Any aid that they can provide, really. Or at the very least, allied enough so that they won't impede our repelling of them.
As I said, we're merely here to plead our case. If you're not interested, we will be on our way. We have precious little to bargain with, and I wouldn't expect an Archfey to be amenable to the concerns of mere mortals.
If I may add, we have pleaded our case to the Oberon, which I know one of us have said already, but the Oberon saw fit to mark our dear friend Cirrus here and believes somewhat in our duty. If that leaves you with any sense of credence, I guess.
If you are marked by the sun, then I will show you hospitality. But we have naught else to offer. There is not a living soul in this entire kingdom.
When you say we, what do you mean then, if it's only you?
We are the city, Strazasara. Its consciousness, unspoken, unmourned, unremembered.
See, thank you very much.
Claw will give a bow. I thank you for your time.
This
And
place that you've modeled your realm on, its true version on the outside is currently infested by the quarry. They've made it their own. Would it be possible for you to layer a dream on top of a dream so that we could pass through it untouched by them?
Possibly.
Wick will kind of move towards the others. We'll have to take the city eventually. This could be our best shot.
Question is, what do we offer them? Do you offer a city?
what would you want
What is it
if you were
worth
able
to
to do
you?
such a thing?
Very important stepping stone to make sure that the Feywild is not consumed by this.
Your ancestor was willing to split himself in half for a means of passage.
You must be quite tired of this version of your realm. Perhaps a new one would entice you.
A new memory?
A new soul.
Wick.
What are you offering, Wick?
The only thing we have to bargain with.
Sure hope you're not suggesting what I think you are.
What other choice do we have?
Doing
This is
this
the
with you.
only option we've been presented with to possibly allow us to assail Soleus Isildur unmolested.
There are other ways, there are other means, there are other ways of trading with the Fae. We do not have to resort to oopsie doopsie, there goes me, every single time.
I'm just feeling out our options.
What is exactly would you be interested in exchange?
And there's a long, pregnant pause. We cannot truly conceive of aught that you might offer. You walk your paths. All that mortals have to offer is that spark that burns them from the inside out. It has given us the power to rule uncontested. It has warded off the sickly Fae that hunger for more. If you wish to have yet more of what your betters have given before, not just passage but protection, we should want for something substantial.
Name your price and we'll consider it.
Is the survival of your entire court not a worthy trade? Doing this to help the Feywild.
courts of living Fae may be more amenable to this. But Straza Sara will endure.
We have played our case. We have told you of the countless other places that have fallen because of it, even Mechanicus, and yet still.
Places of the living. Of the dreaming.
Places of the living of very similar substance to the Feywild. I wouldn't be here myself as a princess of the Western Court if I didn't believe in this. We've played our case. Unless anyone else has any other ideas, this seems like a lost cause.
I kind of group discussion real quick. I have to agree with Princess Amir on this one. Wick, as much as I know you are offering, I don't think it will be either enough or worth it in the long run. We need you around still to fight.
Plus, you're our friend.
That too, of course. Can't have you just off and sacrificing yourself before the real battle has even started. Claw's kind of saying it a bit of a teasing way, but look, Wick, it's not. Go ahead.
It's not as if I'm suddenly possessed of a bout of fatalism. I just don't know if we'll get another chance like this.
We
I know.
might be able to, though. We haven't really even gone to another court besides the Western Court.
We have other courts that we can discuss with, and if push comes to shove, we can maybe get another voice here, but I think we can get a better deal elsewhere, honestly. As much as it
You
pains.
heard what they said, though. The Inquisitor's soul guided us here. That has to count for something.
He sent someone like him. That's probably it. I don't know if it was destiny or just an accident, but as much as it pains me, we can't really do anything about freeing him, because that would mean fighting the court, and I'd rather not fight the court.
Yes, we've done enough apostasy for one outing. Gee, Brack isn't here for that.
Is there any benefit you could ascertain from being allied with other courts?
Who's that question?
To the Archfey.
For us? We would suppose it would make it more likely to keep them out of our city. But they do this already of their own volition.
Well, it may not be the same as your city, but the I got lost. Hold on.
The Western?
What's Sirius's court?
Southern.
The
Oh,
Southern?
the Southern.
Fuck.
Yeah.
The Southern Court, even upon a new Archfey being a new Archfey existing there, has multiple attempts at people trying to get in. Surely this isn't the same for you, or is the same?
We felt them in our nascency. But there are few Fae strong enough to survive the ire of Strazasara.
So tell me, say, for example, that the quarry and Tropus were to affect the grove. Even if your court is immune to this, the other courts aren't. They will flee and they will seek asylum and they will cause a big headache for you. Would you not want to avoid that? Even if other Archfey come knocking on the door.
You want to keep your solitude, correct?
If an Archfey is weak enough to flee in disgrace, then they are weak enough to be crushed.
Could you handle all Archfey and all other Fey at once? Or you can repel tiny invaders, but what if everyone joined to try and seek asylum here?
Perhaps
All we want to do. We just want to keep the grove safe. Or is included.
make a persuasion check.
Come on, girl.
Ooh.
Come on.
Can Sears help with that? Because they were talking about.
Sure.
Roll again.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
dude.
perception. That's perception.
I'm sorry.
Aw.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, one more point.
Still an increase.
You make an earnest point. What would you even ask of Strazasara? To
The only thing that
protect you,
comes to mind.
to protect you from the dreams of this new foe?
Just enough
Yes.
assistance that we can help out the proper town that you haven't. That of your fucking. Sorry, this leaf blower is.
Yeah, that's alright.
To assist those who are trapped. Enough protection so that we may assist those who are trapped in the current city of Isildur.
Where the city shares the same architecture and structure as your own. Would it not be at least meaningful to help protect the inspiration?
I care not for the real, the true, as you call it, version of this.
Okay, that's fine.
This land
Anyway,
is
that's okay.
just as real as that. But I will have an assurance that if I am to assist you, our sanctity will be upheld.
Sanctity of keeping the current status quo.
Yes. That Strazasar will be untouched by the graceless footfalls of lesser Fae.
That is the goal.
That is a fair enough trade.
Everyone else amenable?
I can't quite tell right now, but I'll get back to you one day.
I would have assurances directly from you, Faye.
This is serious work.
And not your
Make it your
word.
first treat.
You, with the stench similar of brass and wood. You will be the guarantor of this degree.
So be it.
Give us your name.
Ooh. Ooh.
Only if you're very sure about this, Amir.
One moment, please. Cirrus will, like, you know how, like, people hold cats long style?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna grab a mirror like that, like long cat style,
Hello?
and walk a little bit. I believe it's, if this is something that you're going to be actually considering, there should perhaps be stipulations. Right? I mean, you can't just be going agreeing with any fae or archfey that you stumble upon. I mean, look how my brain, oh no. Look how that
Marlon?
yeah, that one. Look how Marlon ended up in this situation. Perhaps if you make a pact with them, not a pact, but an agreement that at some point, once it's clear that we've dealt with the
Quarry?
Atropus and the quarry, that they forget your name, your true name. Otherwise, you'd be ascending into the Western Court with another court knowing your true name.
It's true. Why'd you grab me like a cat, by the way?
I'm sorry, I'm just used to picking up Persephone.
Doing
like
what he
that.
knows.
Yeah.
Thank you, kind Cirrus, and yes, you are correct.
Whatever you pick, I support it.
I'd think for a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Two more seconds. You, O Archfey of the Eastern Court, you wish to know my true name, a princess of the Western Court.
Not to know it. We wish to inter it. Until time where threats to us are by and gone.
And what then? You would still know my name after the fact, right?
We will shed it. Just so simply as we have shed many of us past.
What were to happen if I were to fail and die as well?
And then we would have no need of your name.
Well enough. You guarantee stipulation that even if I were to give up my name to you, that I would not be depleted to the same husk that... What was his name? I'm reading.
Editor.
The Adager. I would not be the same as him.
You would not. You would hold the full control of your faculties as you have them now. The stipulation is that should you run from this conquest you and yours are committed to, should you seek safe haven and allow our court to be entered, we would use your name and break you down into the constituent bones to form a new district in Strazasara.
With my faculties intact.
Yes.
Like that implication. Nevertheless, I have a vestige duty to protect the grove because it's where my home is. Were I to fail, I would seek wrath from my own grove as well. So, This is simply a case of don't fail.
Probably also let the other courts to not. Probably also good to let the other courts know, hey, don't go in here.
I would be keen to act as messenger to all other courts to make sure that no more attempts are made to attempt to gain access to the Eastern Court. You would be quite content with your solitude, I assume?
We have been for so long content with our solitude, yes.
You have my pity. Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, they said if I were to run from my duty, what if I were to fly away from my duty? Huh?
If
I don't touch the ground, I can't get in trouble.
I don't know if it's wise to try to play semantics with an archfey.
No, I won't. Would it please you to delay this until mayhap we can find an easier way, fulfill that without any risk to you?
What do you mean?
We still have yet to petition other courts. Mayhap they have a way of helping us access this city that we seek without needing to This just sounds like I'm trying to weigh up my options. There may be a way that we can do this without needing to form an agreement whatsoever.
If you truly believe that the other courts will have more righteous and softer intentions, then I invite you to pursue them.
Softer intentions, just different ones. Be amenable to delaying this.
Delay as you will.
And she's going to turn to the group. We don't really have to put all our eggs in one basket. But
No, but we did just usurp one court. They may be less likely to listen to us after that.
so would this person. Marchfey.
Well, not exactly. Straws of Sorrow would appear to be the only one who is entirely self-interested and only wishes to isolate themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It is a unique position that we would do well to avail ourselves. I was trying to not use the word exploit.
My brain not thinking good.
Yeah. Decisions are hard.
And this leaf blower is driving me insane. Like, sapping my fucking thought process.
I mean, I know it's not a great deal, but honestly, it could be a lot worse. But at the same time, we also haven't talked to any of the other courts yet. Including the Western Court.
We go to the Western Court, it's like, oh yeah, we got a fucking anti-sleep shit for you, no worries.
Wait, hang.
Yeah, no problem.
One moment. Hang on. Saris, Amir, you said nobody comes here anyway, yes?
Well, nobody wants to, but
So it
They
would
have-
seem to me that, in fact, you two would have very little to do in order to fulfill this agreement.
yes, other than don't fail.
Well, yes, if we fail, then everything is completely knackered. This isn't actually that bad a deal. We should take it.
Archfey of the Eastern Court, were I to fail, I would like different terms.
And what would those be?
I would defend your court from any and all, from the inside or the outside, and prevent people from ever thinking of accessing it. Rather than being made a new foundation, or made into a new foundation, I would sooner devote myself to making sure that you and I could enjoy some modicum of peace.
Very well.
Again, were I to fail.
The terms of enforcing this failure remain the same.
Bruh.
A promise is not good enough.
Very well. I am Princess Imirach of the Western Court. I devote myself to this duty to make sure that none approach the Eastern Court should I fail. Should I succeed, you will shed my true name and never know of it again. No strings attached, no trickery. In exchange for this, you will help us, grant us any assistance you can in trying to dispel or be immune to the sleep-like effect that exists outside the Feywild in the same town of your mirror image.
Very
You make
well.
a pact with me.
The terms are sealed. You are free to
done.
go.
May I have a lockstone so that I could convene with you in the future, directly?
Of course, we will leave one by the exit.
I thank you for your time, and may this pact be fruitful. Everyone, we should leave.
Yeah.
Yes.
During all this, did Claw ever get a glimpse or a sight of the full Archfey at all? Even when Amir gave out her true name?
You take a look around, and only thing you see is this massive skeletal or bony hand, not skeletal. It's got graying skin, but it is just the fingers come out of the soil and curve and bend over this multi-digited hand before descending back down on the other side and into the dirt proper.
Okay. Claw will take in what he sees for a moment, then look to Amir, and I guess we'll leave.
On our way out, Wick will kind of gesture at Claw. Claw, if you truly wish to free First Inquisitor Malron, you realize what you have to do, yes?
I do, but
You'll have to supply Strazasara with another soul.
I do. And right now we don't
Should have
an
stipulated
extra-
that as one of the fucking terms.
It's
Could have
okay.
exchanged.
What's done is done.
I don't think they would have agreed to be left with nothing.
Yeah. Well, I'd be the replacement in that sense.
Yeah, we don't want that for you.
I mean, if we fail, doesn't matter what you want, you're dead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if we fail, then he gets set free as a senile old man into a world of nothing and zombies. So,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
yeah, not great.
We need to leave to the Western Court immediately. They have to know
Yeah.
about this.
Okay, we'll head to the Western Port then.
All right.
Your family will not be pleased with you for doing this, will they?
How immediate do you need to be back in the Western Port?
Promptly.
Okay. We've been to the Western Court before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%. And I remember it pretty clearly.
We could just lockstone there.
We could just lockstone there.
Mm-hmm.
As well.
I'm just saying I can also teleport. So like if you need super emergency.
You cannot teleport there. Teleport has to be on the same plane of existence.
Ah.
But Feywild to Feywild is the same.
Each
Different
They're on-
ports are different planes.
Each one is on a
Oh my.
different. It's like separate plates on a bench.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's just you know.
We'll we'll head to the Western Court, and once we leave, we can pick up the lockstone that we got from the Eastern.
Sirius, is your familiar okay to continue?
Yes, I think so.
If we have no objections, please, we must hurry.
Yes, let's be along.
All right. So you guys head on out towards the edge of the grove. Claw.
Mm-hmm.
Every facade of building that you had seen on your way in, including the walls, each one is a distended and misshapen hand.
Oh, gross.
But you all continue on out, and at the edge there is a single flower blossoming, made of what looks to all of you to be brass, but to Claw it looks to be the forearm and splayed hand within it. To the rest of you, the blossoming lockstone, but to Claw, the lockstone held in the palm.
Must be it.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, Nikki.
Claw, are you alright?
I'll tell you later. It's fine.
Okay, don't puke on the way there,
No,
please.
it was legitimately a good idea, but it's
Yeah,
just
no,
funny that you.
No,
you-
I knew what I was doing, right? I knew like, okay, everything here is an illusion. We can't see the like archfey, right?
No, it was
And
good. It was good thinking.
the person who needs to communicate in this situation is like the person who probably needs the most help in communicating in this situation is Claw, because the two Fey folk can do the Fey things, right?
Yeah.
But Claw's just a dude.
Yeah, no, it's just that unfortunately, Chipper has now cursed her best friend in all the world with even more nightmare fuel.
Well, fuck you.
He's fine. I think therapy can't fix.
Yeah, exactly. Just snuggle Chipper for a while. I'm like a fucking stress ball. You just squeeze me a little bit and you'll be okay.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Anyway, the lockstone.
Indeed, you guys are able to gather up the East Court's lockstone, and presuming you would like to use the Western Court's lockstone to traverse the grove directly to there.
Yes, please.
All right. You are able to do just that.
If I get teleported away as soon as I enter, I'm going to throw hands.
You traverse through, and you all arrive together in the Western Court at the foot of the numerous brass trees that make up the Undying Council, the rulers of this court.
Oh yeah, how
And-
long does the this vision last, by the way, Nikki?
1 hour.
Yeah.
An hour? Okay. Well,
You're gonna be. By the way, how do we look under True Seeing? Do we
Just
just look
having a-
exactly the same?
He's just
Normal.
having a really bad trip.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
How does Cirrus look? under True
Semi-translucent.
Seeing? Okay.
that makes sense.
But you have all arrived now in the Western Court, to begin to explain everything that just happened.
Western Court, cancel now.
And so we're going to go and end for tonight.
Oh.
Alright. I need to bugger off for a moment because my parentals are looking at a apartment that they want to buy, so that's why I was talking about variable home loans.
Yeah, good luck, Nikki.
Alright, bye!
Have fun, be safe.
We will...
I'm gonna go, in a little bit I'll be going into an open house, so I gotta go.
Nice. We will be back next week to see what the fuck the fallout of this choice was. But thank you all for coming out and watching, and we hope to see you next week. Until then,
Just go ahead, make that decision. Do it. Shoot the cop. Do it.
shoot the cop. Go to see Shen Yun and do the interview afterwards, and just talk about Avicii.
Oh boy.
Good night.